Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am Sebastian, and in this Watch Our Runs presentation I am going to be discussing the Immortal Codex, and I'm going to give you some basic tips. What can you expect, what type of units you're going to need to get the most damage that you can on these bosses, so you can at least get some decent rewards out of it. So to start out with some of the basics, as you'll see the Immortal Codex going to be placed in the event hall, along with all the other events that we usually have going on in the game. The Immortal Codex will last about 10 days. I've been actually toying around with it on and off here for the last 6. And in terms of rewards, we are being told that we'll get ancient summoning crystals, shards for those ancient summoning crystals, along with rare crystals and diamonds. Now, in terms of how many rewards you're going to get after each battle, it all depends on the damage that you do in each one of the bosses. So as you can see, it's all going to be scaled, and you're going to receive a grade based on the damage that you are doing, going all the way from SS to F. And of course, the least damage that you do, or the less sustain that you have, you're gonna get the score. And if you're gonna get diamonds that range between 100 and 350. However, it doesn't really say how many crystals you're gonna get or shards you're going to get after you have completed the event, but I imagine that you're gonna get a decent amount if you actually at least put the effort into it. There are going to be 3 different dooms that you're going to have to go into. I cannot tell you for sure that these are going to be the same bosses every time. There might be some type of cycling that they have not announced yet, but these are the ones that at least we are trying out in the Forerunners server. So as you can see here, we have the Conqueror, the Wasteland Titan, and the Lord of Sticks. And I'm going to go through each one of these and kind of give you an idea of what you can expect when you are going to try to go through each one of these tombs. Now what I'm going to do is just going to go through a series of clips that I've collected on this event. And as you can see, just to start with, that you are going to have to unlock each doom. So before you get to the boss stage, there will be 4 stages that you're going to have to go through to clear, and you're going to get some rewards out of it. Essentially, it's going to give you a preview of the type of heroes that you are going to need to combat each doom. So I'm going to fast forward this to the boss stage. So that's what I'm gonna kind of do here. So as you can see here, now we are in the boss stage, and is going to go through the description of the Conqueror here. And the general rundown that I'm going to give you is that we are in this battle not necessarily interacting with the boss. The boss is not going to do damage to us, or we're going to do the damage to him. It's actually an indirect type of battle, because what's going to happen is that, as you'll see, there are these portals that are open, and you have all these melee units that come out of that portal. So you are going to try to bring those units down as quickly as possible. And at the same time, what's going to happen is that once you then enter the boss rush stage of the battle, that portal is going to change, and now you're going to get the onslaught. So in this battle, what you are going to want to do is you are going to want to get as many of your fighters ready in trying to conquer this, and make sure that one of the tips that I can give you is that you're going to need a cast that can do block, and then at the same time you're going to need another cast that can do damage and that has greater attack speed. Because as you can see here, just at the start, you have all these soldiers coming out, right? So one of the things, at least from the first 3 that I placed, I just wanted to see how things went in this first try. And as you can see here, once I saw that some of them were getting past them, I decided to put some of my fighters on the back line here before these barricades. If these barricades do come down the rush is just going to go right through and get to the core, and the battle will be over. Now, as you can see here, the damage to the boss is not being counted yet, because we have to get this to 0% before we can enter the rush stage, and that's when we're going to start accumulating the damage. Also note that you only have a limited time to do this, so we want to bring down these units as quickly as possible so that we can do as much damage to him as quickly as possible. So once we eliminate the melee units, you can see all these kind of souls imprints just go towards the conqueror, and that's how we are doing damage in an extent. Okay, so let me fast forward here just a little bit to bring this down to 0. So you can kind of see that once you get down to 0, the boss will reset himself, and now we enter the boss rush. The portal changes, and now you can just see the waves are just coming out of this portal. High number of them. So what I'm trying to do here is eliminate them as much as possible, and then so you can see that some of them are getting through. We are getting hurt a little bit. One of the things that I can tell you, though, that during the rush stage, you see this little kind of book that is over here. If you click on it, it says that you gain a lifesteal effect. So if you do more damage than you take in, you're gonna get healed in a sense. Okay, so in this example here, you can just see that I could not keep up with it, and the melee units just went right through the barricade and ended up going through the cores. So that was the damage that it did in this first run. It gave me the letter grade, and that's how now I can actually come back and try to redo this again to try to get the next tier of diamonds. So in this case, I got 190. The next tier is 220. So if I'm able to increase to that one tier, I get the additional 30 diamonds. You don't get 220. You get the additional that you get for going up on that tier. The next doom that you will encounter will be the Santh of Wrath. That is where the Wasteland Titan resides. His whole purpose is to do damage to do. He has similar mechanic to that of the Golem on GR2. His whole purpose is just to pound on the ground as hard as he can to try to do P damage to you. And the whole purpose here is to bring you down so you don't do damage to him. But at the same time, as you will see here, in this battle, I am not bringing in damage dealers. This is all about healing. And this is actually a very neat mechanic that they have introduced into this dungeon, because it's all about the healing. It's all about the healers. So if you have a good cast of healers in your roster, you are going to fare well in this battle. And I can tell you that for me, Elowen, Vortex, and Eileen all did phenomenally well for me in this battle. But you are probably wondering, where is that damage coming from then if you are only bringing healers into this battle? Well, right here is where the damage is coming in. It's all about these Iona statues, okay? And the premise here is essentially going to be that during the first round of the battle, when you are trying to bring this health bar down to 0%, the main damage dealer here, the central piece, is going to be the Iona statue right here on the bottom. And as you can see here, she has her health bar right now on very, very low. It's quarter of her health, a fifth of her health, and it is purple. My whole purpose in this thing is going to be to not only heal her, but heal her as fast as possible, keep her as close to 100% as possible, and get this bar to turn green. When it turns green, she is doing damage. The closer you are to 100% HP, the more damage she does. So I'm just going to run the initial stage of this battle, and you can see that I'm kind of prepping ahead a little bit, because I know that my purpose is going to be to try to protect as many of the Iona statues as possible, heal them as much as possible so they do more damage when the boss rush starts. Unfortunately for me here, my light like is only at 50, so I do have to work on him on this account, which is the free-to-play one that I'm working on. So once I kind of set the stage, now my whole purpose is just to heal the Iona here on the bottom, okay? And she is doing the damage. And you can see the Titan is just trying to hit us as hard as possible, so we have to keep up with that. Another element of this battle that it says is that he can apply an anti-healing effect on you, which I was actually trying to look for to see if there was any way in which my healers were not healing or the Ionas were not healing, and I didn't notice it. So I don't know if that is not the case, but in this battle, one of the conditions in that anti-healing effect is that you can wipe it, you can dispel it. And of course I have two dispellers in this battle, in Maidan and Elwyn, so maybe I didn't notice the effect as much. So something that I want to see if I can do just with Vortex and Light Lock on one side and then keep the other ones on the other side. But do keep in mind that you are going to unfortunately be encountering that mechanic if you don't have these two particular ones, but most of you probably do have Maidan to at least help out in that regard. So as you saw here just recently, you saw that her health bar got to purple, and she just kind of goes is stunned in that purple state. She's not doing any damage, so you really want to try to keep this on green as much as possible. Also, once the rush activated, all the statues were activated, so now you can see all 7 of them are active, and I'm trying to keep them as active as possible with the healing and pumping out as much healing as possible. And like I said, the more health that each one of the statues has, the more damage you're doing. So in this setup here, unfortunately, I am sacrificing one statue because I couldn't cover them all. The only reason that I brought Elder into this battle is because of the lore bonus, to try to get 3 of the healers that I have here a little bit more of a stat boost. So that's pretty much the premise that you're going to encounter in this battle, and all the damage that you're doing is in how well you are doing in keeping up this statue's healed and active. Okay, and then the last doom that you're going to deal with, at least for this example, is going to be the Eerie Styx, and that's where the Laura Styx hangs out. This Celis looking type boss is one that is really providing a challenge, and it's going to be a challenge for everybody's account because you are going to need a lot of multi-hitters. And the whole key in this battle is going to be about bringing down his shield to make him vulnerable, and that is when you are only going to be able to do damage to him. I'm just going to show you here the brief run that I did here at the beginning to try to understand what was going on. So in this stage we do have platforms, and then we have availability to place ground units as well. And so my initial thought was just to either bring in fighters that I knew had high attack speed and my healer, and try to understand really how this boss reacted to the units. And I quickly learned that it really didn't matter what the boss did if I didn't bring this shield down quickly. So let me give you we have to do 100 hits on this shield to bring it down so we can do damage on him. So in this example here, I'm just going to show you what happens if you don't bring the shield down. You just get wiped. And you know, it takes if you don't have Volca here, it's going to take a full minute to try to recover from it. And if you only have 1 or 2 units up, there's no way you're going to bring that shield down with 100 hits and try to catch up to the boss. So that is one of the harsh mechanics that that I have noticed here with this boss. And then if I just fast forward a little bit to the stage where I was able to, so let me start here because I want to give you this example here. So in this example here, I actually started bringing my marksmen, especially the ones that I knew had some type of multi-hit in their kit. So that's why Breen and Allura are here. You can see that I'm keeping Fascia because in her ultimate she has all those different hits. Wrath is one of my fighters that I know had high attack speed. So I was hoping that I could bring this shield down with this composition as quickly as possible, and I did. And then as you can see here, now he's vulnerable and I can do some damage to him to try to bring this health bar to 0%. Now let me fast forward this to the 0 where I can activate the rush. So I think he goes down here. Yeah, so this is where I activated the rush. Now here's the unfortunate part that I found is that during the rush the shield counter increases. So now we are to 140. So with this composition, I knew that I was not going to be able to bring it down. I was already having difficulty bringing it down from 100. So I can already tell that it's going to be challenging for some accounts to get this shield down quickly. So it appears that right now that this boss may be a little hero specific, and you know, we're still gonna have to devise ways to try to see how we can bring this boss down. But understand that right now I have an account in the Forerunners servers that I would classify late game going into the end game. I am farming all of the 18s. I have GR2 19 locked, so I know at least I can collect some of the very good ancient mythical gear, and I'm hitting 2 keying or 2 trying NM3 to get the maximal chest. So with a score of only 10,000, which they're scoring here as an F, and to be on the top 20% on the server, does make me wonder if people are really having a hard time with the mechanics of this boss, or is it that just not trying hard enough. So this one I think might need a little bit of balancing, but we'll find out. And we're not missing a whole lot of rewards, at least from just looking at how many diamonds we're going to gain from the point rewards. It's not a big deal. I think that the developers can then look to see if they need to do, but you can see these top teams, if the top rank couldn't even make it to triple S, there's still a double S. So I'm wondering if it's a little bit overtuned, and maybe they'll do a little bit of adjustment before the global launch. So I wouldn't worry too much about it, but just understand that the mechanic is there, that there is a shield that you're going to have to pop, and if you don't, you're going to get wet. So that was a preview of the Immortal Codex. I do hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please hit like and subscribe. We are on the mission to get 500 subscribers. Let me know what you think. Do you think this is content that is going to excite you? Is there anything that you notice that I could possibly try with the heroes that I do have? I am still toying around with the stick domain, or the Doom, because I do want to see what type of heroes I have on my account that can possibly bring that shield down in 140 hits. And if I don't, then I know what I'm going to need to summon, or what I need to chase during a 10x. One of the heroes that I'm interested in right now is Tassira, because she has a very fast ultimate and is multi-hit, so I think she might come in handy for this. But let me know if you can think of any other heroes that would be good for this, and we'll pass any recommendations along. I'd like to thank you for tuning in and watching, and I will see you all next time on the next Watcher of Realms video.
Their souls are mine to take.